Hello and welcome to another session of my Data Preparation for Data Science webinar. My name is Gerhard and I'm a book author and data scientist at SAS. Today we are focusing on feature generation and we will take a look how can we use data science methods to derive relevant features for our analysis out of transactional data. More specifically, we will take a look on how do certain analysis subjects have in accordance to a predefined pattern, which of the customers are close, which of the customers are far away. In my example, I have data from the catering or from the tourism industry, and we will take a look on a company who is doing the catering business and sees that their demand has a quite wide variation over the year. So their salespeople are in charge to acquire capacities from subcontractors over the year, and they should do this according to a predefined pattern. The pattern which has been observed over the last years can be seen here, and you see that there is a strong peak in summer and in pre-Christmas time and also in February. Probably this is a catering business which is also around the Austrian skiing resorts or the Austrian Alps, where you have lots of traffic in summer, in the winter season, and maybe pre-Christmas. So if we now change a little bit the look and move from a bar chart into another view, we can see that the salespersons should be forced or should be induced to close subcontracts following the seasonal pattern, as can be seen here. So this is the assumed pattern, and we can now observe all individual contracts, all individual salespeople. And if we just look at this from a visual perspective, we see that this is not really helpful. We would like to use a data science method which analyzes the closeness of each individual sales line to this predefined pattern and rank our contracts or rank our salespeople according to this pattern. Let's take a look on how this can be done. Because here we would not have a clear picture, but we would like to use something from our data science portfolio. We can use, for example, the chi-square test, which is in SAS available in the FREQ procedure, by running an analysis which compares the predefined pattern with the actual data. This means that we specify we would like to run a chi-square test here and take as a comparison data or as a pattern data the historic demand which has been observed, and now analyze this for every account manager. So we run the procedure by account manager to get this analysis run in more detail. As an output, we say we would like to output a table which we call chi-square, where we put the chi-square values in. So we run this procedure not to observe, not to view on the data, but to get an output table which can be later used for further analysis. This output table looks as follows. It allows us now to rank our account managers or our salespeople according to this chi-square value. A large chi-square value means that this person is quite far away from the assumed pattern. A lower chi-square value means that this person is closer to the assumed pattern. So we receive here in this chi-square column a KPI which allows us to describe the accordance of an individual analysis subject. In this case here it is the account manager, how close they are with what we predefine. If we translate this example into other applications, this could be, for example, also run by your customer, and you would maybe check your transactional data, which customers behave like the average customer and which customers completely behave in a different way. Let's now take a look whether the analysis or this ranking makes sense, and let's pick two individual account managers here. So for example, Joyce, who has a very high chi-square value, and Jeffrey, who has a lower chi-square value compared to that. Let's take a look on their individual the trend lines or individual seasonal patterns compared with the overall pattern. Let's start with Jeffrey. Jeffrey has a lower chi-square value compared to many others, and we see when we compare the blue line, which is his individual line, with the gray line, with the average pattern, we see that he has quite a close pattern to that. So we get a very good description, lower chi-square value quite close to that, compared to Joyce. We see she has a very high chi-square value, so we see that in many months she's quite away from this predefined pattern, and this gives us an indication that just using this simple calculation, calculating the chi-square value using the FREQ procedure in SAS, allows us to generate a feature on an analysis subject level, and this feature can now be used, for example, for customer segmentation, as an input variable for predictive modeling, or for many other usages. So what you have seen here is also described in a little bit more detail in another YouTube webinar, which I have presented in a different series, and you can also download the slides from my GitHub collection, which is shared here in the links. What I'm trying to show here is that, especially in feature engineering, it's important to be creative. Yes, in many cases it's good to calculate averages and sums and counts, but in many other areas we would like to get knowledge of this transactional data that we have and find out how can we use this for our customers to describe their behavior and calculate individual variables out of that. For example, the correlations, the trends, the closeness with certain patterns, or many other areas. This is what I would like to motivate you. If you analyze transactional data and you would like to generate features, be creative, take a look on what makes sense from a business perspective, and I'm pretty sure you find lots of analytical tools which help you to generate these features. Today we have taken a look on feature generation. In many other webinars I also speak about data assembly, how you can put your data together, or on data quality for analytics, and you find more webinars in this playlist. In my general work I'm taking a lot of look on how these dimensions, data preparation, data quality and business analytics, come together and are interleaved in many areas. And this is also the topic of my free SAS press books which I have written over the last couple of years. If you're interested in more content, you find contributions on Medium and LinkedIn, you find my webinars on YouTube, or other sessions in SAS communities, or lots of macros and downloads on GitHub. Thanks for watching. I look forward to hear your comments and your questions, and I look forward to see you soon.